Do you know how it feels to have the President of the United States to target you? The President of the United States is supposed to represent every American, not to target one, but he targeted me, Lady Ruby, a small business owner, a mother, a proud American citizen who stand up to help Fulton County run an election in the middle of the pandemic.
We've seen this week how quickly our core democratic institutions are eroding from the legislative to the judicial to the executive branch. And this week's January 6th hearing showed us how the big lie was really a big throwback to Jim Crow. Take a listen.
A lot of threats, wishing death upon me, telling me that, I'll be in jail with my mother, and saying things like, be glad it's 2020 and not 1920.
That was a testimony from the January 6th committee this week, which was devastating to hear. And back with me is Elie Mystal. He's the author of Allow Me to Retort, and also joining is former FBI Special Agent Errol Southers. He's the director of Homegrown Violent Extremism Studies at the University of Southern California. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Errol, I'm going to start with you here. I want you to take another listen to Ms. Moss talk about what she's faced. She was being questioned by Adam Schiff on some of the nature of the threats she received. Take a listen, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Donald Trump attacked you and your mother using her name 18 times on that call. 18 times. Ms. Moss, can you describe what you experienced listening to former President Trump attack you and your mother in a call with the Georgia Secretary of State?
I felt horrible. I felt like it was all my fault. Like, if I would have never decided to be an elections worker, like, I could have done anything else, but that's what I decided to do. And now people are lying and spreading rumors and lies and attacking my mom.
You know, Errol, the thing that struck me most about this testimony is I'd heard it before. Growing up, you heard it. It brought me into the mind of Fannie Lou Hamer and what she went through when she testified before the DNC. I thought about people trying to mute the voices of black women. I thought about the role black women play being on the front lines of saving a democracy that has for decades crushed us. It was heartbreaking to see this, and I just think it's really important that we let viewers know ain't nothing new under the sun. We've seen this before. When average everyday citizens who are trying to participate in democracy have their lives threatened, what impact does that have on democracy from your perspective as someone who worked in law enforcement?
Well, thank you very much, Tiffany. And, it was very painful for me to watch. My mother was a poll worker. My parents made me understand how important it is to vote and how tough it was for us to have the right to vote. And interestingly enough, as you mentioned, we're rolling this back. They've weaponized this whole notion of, in this case, the past election poll workers being involved in some kind of conspiracy or fraud. But what's really sad about that is that what we have now is a situation where people don't want to be poll workers. And if I may just share a personal story, in 2018, my mother had just returned from the hospital a week before the 2018 midterms, and the only thing she had in her mind was getting to the poll on that Tuesday, and unfortunately, she passed away the night before. So this was very painful. I would like to just say to people that in a survey that was just done in 2020, a nationwide survey of election workers at Reed College has suggested that 25% of them plan to retire before the 2024 election because of the politicization and the violence that they believe that they may be subjected to if they actually go and do their jobs.
Wow. Elie, take a listen to this. Honestly, I thought these women were the stars of the hearing this week. And so I was really struck by a lot of the print outlets that, as a part of the Beltway press, did not center these two women when that's all we were talking about were these two women. So diversity in this space really matters, folks, I tell you. But listen to Ms. Ruby Freeman and her testimony about what she's gone through since all of this happened, since Donald Trump and his team of lawbreakers targeted her. Take a listen.
I've lost my name and I've lost my reputation. I've lost my sense of security, all because a group of people, starting with number 45 and his ally, Rudy Giuliani, decided to scapegoat me and my daughter, Shay, to push their own lies about how the presidential election was stolen.
I mean, I think it was really important to hear from these two women because people have to understand, for all the people who say, well, I like Trump, I just wish he would stop tweeting. Or I like his policies, but I don't like the way he speaks. Like, please miss us with that BS, okay? Because these women are the real life consequences to what you like and what you don't like. Your thoughts on their testimony?
Lady Ruby went on to say that Donald Trump was supposed to be the president for all of us. And it struck me because she was the first person to say that. None of the Republicans they dragged out here and pretended they were heroes because they said the right thing 18 months later said that, right? The idea that Donald Trump should be only the president for the white supremacist MAGA base and not the president for Lady Ruby and not the president for Shay Moss is offensive and I think should be brought up a lot more in mainstream media. But anyway. The idea that Shay Moss and Lady Ruby need to become Supreme Court justices before this Congress votes to protect them is offensive to me. 30 of Brett Kavanaugh's neighbors, had a cocktail party outside of his house, and Mitch McConnell clutched so many pearls, he needed a fainting couch, right? Congress immediately started acting to try to protect the Supreme Court justices, but these women were attacked 18 months ago, and we still don't have a bill from Mitch McConnell, from Jim Jordan, from Ted Cruz, saying that election workers, people who make the wheels of democracy go, that these people deserve protection from the insurrectionists that people like Kevin McCarthy and Ted Cruz give voice and comfort to.